Hello ladies and gents, I'm Mr. Reed, and today I am going over and fully breaking down the Mount Chiliad mystery. This was supposed to be the first video of the new series on the channel, but ADHD kicked in and I needed to do that drunk dad video first. Now, for my first time doing a video like that, I gotta say the reception was very good. Thank you, I appreciate it. Anyways, this will go over what the mystery is, why it's considered the biggest mystery in gaming history. We will also cover everything I've gathered over the past year, like related discoveries made by the community over the years, speculations, and theories. Timestamps will be available in the description if you don't feel like watching everything, or you already know the basics. Let's start with the start. Grand Theft Auto is a game series created by a massive gaming company called Rockstar, known for many games such as Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, Bully, and many others. The first GTA released almost 30 years ago, back in 1997. Back then, it was merely just a top-down 2D game. But as the years passed and technology evolved, Grand Theft Auto evolved with it, and eventually came the 3D and HD universes the world has come to know. With this switch, the games became bigger, and mysteries began to grow. From Sasquatch to aliens, players believed these myths hid in the games. Now, fast forward to 2013, the release of GTA 5. GTA 5 took place in Los Santos and saw the return to San Andreas, the fictional version of Los Angeles, California, and the home of the fan favorite GTA San Andreas. And with that, the return of Mount Chiliad. For over 20 years, the mystical area of Mount Chiliad has birthed numerous fan theories, conspiracies, myths, and even discoveries. From Michael being dosed and abducted by aliens, and what is probably the most trippiest part of the game, to Michael getting involved with the Epsilons, or even Michael fighting aliens while Okay, Michael, you seriously just need to lay off the drugs. But the biggest mystery to ever come from Mount Chiliad, and possibly any video game ever, is what is known as the Mount Chiliad mystery. After what is essentially the first two tutorial missions, you are free to explore as you please. Most players explored the map and made their way to the peak of Mount Chiliad, where they found this, a mural depicting a mountain with a red eye above, 5 X'd boxes inside, interconnected by lines, and 3 symbols at the bottom, a UFO, an egg, and a person using a jetpack. That wasn't all. A lot of players used a cable car to reach the peak quickly and safely, due to the lack of helicopter access at early game. While riding the cable car, the scenic camera lingers on this, what looks like a mountain with a zigzag, a box on top, and an eye above. This led players to understand the 5 X'd boxes on the mural, and the red eye correlated with 5 glyphs hidden on the mountainside. The mountain, the moon, the cloud, the eye, and the faded eye. The red eye on the mural leads to an eye painted just north of the cable car on Mount Chiliad, under a deck with a message on the back saying, "Come back when your story is complete." Doing so does nothing. Why? Players quickly realized that the glyphs represented conditions that needed to be met. The cloud told them rain or stormy weather, and the moon with the 3 lines told them nighttime and 3 a.m. These 2 conditions, combined with 100% of the story, and being at the deck on Mount Chiliad, players could finally see the big reward. A somewhat glitchy UFO? That doesn't seem right. Look, it even starts to disappear as you approach it. This is where players started to speculate there might be more to the mystery, especially because the mural depicted an egg and a jetpack with the UFO, but neither were found in-game. The egg was found in the files, and later added into Grand Theft Auto Online, where players had to do 600 resupplies. 600! That's like... Okay, it's at least 15 minutes per resupply mission. 15 times 600. Carry the carcass. That's 69 years! No, it's 150 hours, but then, only then, you get a chance to get a mission late at night where you recover the egg from a crashed UFO. The jetpack was also later added in Grand Theft Auto Online in what is known as the Doomsday Heist, which led some players to think that this was the end of the mystery, that Rockstar originally planned to continue the mystery in downloadable content that they canceled and later repurposed for Grand Theft Auto Online. This DLC was meant to be more story for the characters, like Trevor being a secret agent. I want to include this bit of information, but I didn't know where to put it, so it's going here. GTA 5 is the first installment to have 3 playable protagonists: Michael, Trevor, and Franklin. Franklin is thought to be the main protagonist. This story is his. He meets Michael, he meets Trevor, but most of it seems to be focused on Franklin. Okay, that's it. Well, back to the video. Back to whatever topic we were on. This is actually where my original theory was heading too. That the mystery wasn't actually finished yet. The UFO was the campaign. Yes, the egg and jetpack were meant for DLC, but when they repurposed the DLC for the online mode, they still included the mystery. The triggers would be completing the story of each. The UFO for campaign, obviously, the jetpack for Doomsday Heist, and the egg for the current money laundering story. Anyways, my only real issue with this was, if that was the plan, then did they also plan for GTA 6 to be delayed? I mean, it's been almost a year since GTA 6 was originally supposed to release, and only a few months from its delayed release. So, I wasn't fully convinced, and I went digging some more. This next part is still debated amongst the community. It involves taking certain in-game art and overlaying it on the in-game map. Like this painting, found in the Diamond Casino penthouse that a player can buy while playing online. It perfectly overlays with this part of Mount Chiliad. Coincidentally, this area was discussed in the Drunk Dev video, and I really wish I would have remembered to include this. Now, with that in mind, it was discovered that if we overlay the mural from the cable car shed on top of the northern part of the map, the X's line up with other secrets and mysteries in the game. Starting at the bottom left is the iGlyphs X over Fort ZANCUDO, where, high above this bunker, we can find another UFO. Fort ZANCUDO is a military base, mostly identified as an Air Force base, but other military branches can be found within its walls. Many mysteries are connected to this base, from aliens being experimented on to jetpack blueprints and even some mysterious symbols we won't get into in this video, all found underneath this bunker. Maybe I'll do a video on just ZANCUDO at some point, but back to the mystery at hand. This UFO. This one has a completely different design from the Mount Chiliad UFO, and does not disappear as we approach it. Instead, it screeches at us and temporarily disables the vehicle we are operating. And, if touched, will instantly destroy the vehicle and kill the player. This UFO can be seen any time of day during any weather. The lack of weather and time of day needed correlates with the iGlyph. No condition, just something to see. This will be a reoccurring theme. Time of day, specific day, weather. This UFO can also sometimes be seen from a nearby mountain, although some conditions seem to be needed for this. Moving in order of what I absolutely know, the next location is the far right X, the moon glyph, which overlays with the hippie camp. Now, this hippie camp is heavily inspired by the real-life location of Salvation Mountain, found in Imperial County, California. The hippie camp is home to hippies, and also many alien references. Here we find the moon glyph again, but also the rain glyph. From here, if we fly straight up to the skybox, we find another UFO. This one is designed the same as Mount Chiliad's, but doesn't disappear when approached, similar to the ZANCUDO UFO. Also like ZANCUDO's, this UFO yells at us to go away and temporarily disables our vehicle. Moving right along, the next stop on our tour is top left, which is represented by the rain glyph. Now, there is a chance this is the Paleto Forest or the Raton Canyon, but seeing as nothing has officially been found in these areas, we will focus on the most likely suspect, the Altruist camp. The Altruist camp is home to old, naked, old dudes. They worship the sun and they reject most technology. Again, I think I'll do a full video on just the Altruists, so I won't get deep into their lore here. From clues around the camp, along with the rain glyph, it was discovered that the game has its own in-game eclipse event that occurs when the moon overlaps the sun. I mean, duh, that's what an eclipse is. But this isn't what an eclipse looks like. This event only occurs during the eclipse and only if it is raining. Any other weather, just a normal sun, no eclipse whatsoever can be witnessed. Unless you're this smart son of a bitch and can witness it under most weather conditions. The fourth location on our overlay, the top right, directs us to Grapeseed, a rural town, farmland area that I spoke of in the last video. This area is represented by the zigzag mountain glyph, which we can see depicted in the landscape here. Other than this though, nothing substantial has been found relating to the mystery. A few things that have been connected to Grapeseed are the zigzag glyph written in the sand with an arrow pointing north and accompanied by this code.
6EQUJ5.
Okay, time for a quick science lesson with Professor Reed. Slipper. Anyways, today we are going to learn about interstellar communications. 6EQUJ5 is also known as the WOW signal. The WOW signal was a powerful 72-second radio signal that was picked up by the Big Ear Radio Observatory at Ohio State University, all the way back in August of 1977. It was observed by an astronomer that was so astounded by this signal, he wrote "Wow" next to the readings on the data printout. This has long been considered an alien radio transmission and was heard while observing the Sagittarius constellation. That's it. You can go back now. The WOW signal is also found on the hippie camp mural, which helps signify the signal is more than just an Easter egg, but instead has importance. This, accompanied with the sand glyph, and the actual landscape depicting the zigzag of the mountain glyph, we can conclude Grapeseed is the correct location, and is somehow connected to the WOW signal. Another thing related to the mysteries technically found here is the Epsilon program, which is basically a parody on real-life Scientology. A few missions for the group are found here, but not much else. Again, the Epsilons are a group that I can do an entire video on. Another group that is very slightly connected to this area is the Children of the Mountain.
Children of the Mountain is not a cult or a religion, child. We don't believe in anything. We are a personal development community to put you in touch with your true dimension, child, for a price. Child, there's a mountain up there. Child, let me show you the way.
Not much is actually known about this group aside from them claiming they are a group and them collecting money from Franklin. 15 grand for just the t-shirt. So, why did I say this area is slightly connected to the group? A billboard. Billboard for the group is here. That's it. Okay, another possible clue is what looks like a clue at the children's home base. I don't want to call it a church. At this home base is a sign that reads, "Find yourself on the mountain," which has an S that fell off of the yourself, changing the message to "Find your elf on the mountain." This is where it could relate to Grapeseed. No, elf probably isn't referring to Will Ferrell, but to an acronym for extremely low frequencies. Extremely low frequencies, ELF, in simple terms I think I understand, are long wavelengths that can travel through things like the ocean and mountains. They're mostly used today for submarine communications. So how does any of this relate to the mystery? I'm thinking it's related to the WoW signal. One more mystery that technically relates to this area is Bigfoot. In the game, players can locate a total of 27 peyote plants hidden around the map. Peyote, if you don't know, is a hallucinogen that you can consume and rip balls. As far as Grand Theft Auto goes, these peyote plants will, once consumed, turn the player into one of many different animals, from birds to sea animals to multiple different land animals. Now, after the player completes the game to 100%, including a final mission where the player hunts a Bigfoot cosplayer and has collected all 27 peyotes, the player could find 7 golden peyotes. These golden peyote were extremely well hidden and couldn't be found whenever. Each peyote plant had a specific location it would appear, and each would only appear on a certain day of the week, around dawn, and only if the weather was foggy or snowy, which isn't normally possible in stories, seeing as how Grand Theft Auto 5 is based off of Los Angeles and the surrounding areas. This meant each day of the week had one golden peyote that would spawn at one specific point between 5:30 and 7 a.m. only if it was foggy. That's just the beginning of that mystery, but I won't get deep into that here. Again, another topic for another video. But to just put it in a frame of mind, 5:30 to 7 a.m., that's an hour and a half in-game. In real life, that's 6 minutes. You have 6 minutes to hunt for them. The reason I bring all this up is because the 7th and final golden peyote, found only on Saturday, is located at the toppy tip of the zigzag path. The same zigzag path that is part of the mountain glyph depicted in the landscape. Not only do multiple hints point us to Grapeseed, they also seem to direct us to this path. The Bigfoot peyote mystery was added after the game was released. The Bigfoot mystery was also stated by developers to be a way to assist players in solving the greater Mount Chiliad mystery. They contain similar methodology, such as time of day, weather, etc. The 5th and final location on our tour today is, in my research, never really discussed. So this is all me here, theorizing. With the 4 other locations lining up, the bottom right X appears to overlap with the Bolingbroke Penitentiary. It's a prison. I don't need to explain what a prison is, correct? Oh. The faded eye glyph corresponds with this location. And the only mystery clue that has been found here is a message left by a serial killer that was obsessed with the infinity symbol. And the number 8, because it's the infinity symbol stood up. This clue could be referenced by the faded or partial eye glyph, seeing as how this is not the end or start of the mystery for the serial killer. It's essentially the middle. Without getting into all the details, the Infinity Killer left behind multiple clues as to where to find their victims. Clues led us here to the prison, and this clue directs us to the bodies. It's a partial clue. Partial clue, partial glyph. Alright, now time for us to look at multiple clues throughout the game that are or may be related to the mystery. Or are just mystery to me. We'll see when we get there. Segregate and rearrange. I start with this one because it is the most likely to already have been solved, and we are probably just looking into it too much. If we take it literally and segregate and rearrange the letters in the word segregate, Easter egg. And if we do the same for rearrange, we get rear anger? Yes, rear anger. This is why it's considered probably solved. One day will reveal all. A shirt was added during a Halloween event with what looks like an alien head and symbols, accompanied by numbers that translated to one day will reveal all. This most likely refers to a specific in-game day. More on that in a bit. Maze Bank Fountain. The TLDR, too long didn't read, is water surfaces in the game have something called a bump map, or a texture that moves along under the surface to create reflections. This fountain's bump map is weird because it doesn't follow the usual rule of bump maps. The way this one moves, along with the weird egg shape found inside, it's been a head scratcher to many hunters. Is it a map? Directions? Just to get our attention for something else? Who knows? The Eternal Sun. The Eternal Sun is just that. An eternal sun in the sky that never leaves. It can only be seen from underground while looking up through some grates. Many things make this bizarre. By many, I mean mainly two. First, the sun never moves. It changes based on the time of day, but it will never leave this position. Second, while looking at it, it would appear like the sky is completely exposed in this area. But if we go to this exact spot on the surface, we find that an overpass is actually blocking a large portion of the view. My big brain explanation is this is just a separate sky from the one we see overhead, so the lighting is consistent throughout the tunnels. One sky for outside, one sky for underground. X at the windmill farm. Not much to this. There's what looks like an X on the ground near a windmill. There's been whispers of an electronic warfare, and that is the only thing right now that I can link this to. Aquatic plant near observatory. Again, not much on this one either. It's clearly out of place, and it's been here since day one. This mystery does play more into the tsunami theory floating around, which is kind of what I'm leaning towards. Observatory observation. Yet another discovery not understood. This weird line that only appears between 5 and 7 p.m., along with other conditions. It can also be seen north of Mount Chiliad, again with certain conditions. It was originally considered a glitch, but the drunk dev does bring it up a few times, and Franklin's mansion has a photo basically depicting it, so I keep it in the back of my mind. The lunar cycle. Now this is the biggest one for me. A full lunar cycle has been recreated in Grand Theft Auto 5. Not just the basic new moon to full moon and back again, but every phase in between, adding up to a 29.5 day cycle, just like in real life. The moon also has a full rotation around the Earth, similar to a real-life Earth year. Also includes the eclipse event, stated earlier. But it's not just the sky that is affected. The tides are as well. We have low and high tides that change depending on the phase of the moon. Before I make an entire video just on this, the last thing I want to touch on is this radio broadcast.
Could an asteroid hit Earth next week?
Apocalypse News.
Scientists say the asteroid known as QC7 will be dangerously close to Earth next week. If a collision occurs, the 1.5-mile wide space rock would cause catastrophic damage and most certainly wipe out our species. Scientists warn the asteroid will pass 20 million miles from Earth, which they say is really, really close.
As you just heard, the broadcast mentioned about an asteroid passing by Earth next week. There is no asteroid. The news report even mentions how absurdly far away this asteroid is. So why do I feel this particular broadcast is important? Because it only plays at the same time, once a month, during the first quarter moon. And 1 week from this day, we see the full moon. I don't think the asteroid was anything more than a comet, to make us look up at that time frame. But if we didn't know what we were actually looking for, we would never put 2 and 2 together. Even the in-game candy bar meteorite implies this, with the meteor looking like the moon itself. Also, if you're a fan of pareidolia, let's return to Grapeseed and the zigzag trail quick. If we follow the trail up, we were told from here, we can see an eye and something else. Here's the eye, and I believe the something else might be an Easter egg yet discovered here, or it's this rock face right here that eerily looks like the full moon. The Grapeseed Easter egg. Speaking of, let's discuss the Easter egg in Grapeseed. Every other location on this overlay led to a discovery of an Easter egg or mystery or secret, except Grapeseed. Even the drunk dev mentions we're looking for an Easter egg, and should be looking down. I think this one needs more eyes on it. The Space Stalker. Do I need to explain this one? Look at it. It looks like a mystery on its own. What is that writing? What is that design? Why does the horn sound like a space gun from the 90s? Why are the lights green? No idea. Morse code. There are multiple Morse codes found in the game, from a reference to GTA 4 found in the ocean, to the Altruist manifesto broadcasting from a radio station between 2 and 6 a.m. And if shot with a rocket, will start producing an SOS signal. There's more Morse codes in this game. Finding them is the problem. The FIB. The FIB is the GTA equivalent of the FBI. Their importance is really only implied because of their logo on the UFO. A logo that was intentionally broken in an update by Rockstar to draw more attention to it. Their building, along with the IAA, aka CIA, look like eyes, which is obviously a reoccurring theme in this mystery. Doomsday Heist Arena Wars symbols. One of the biggest updates for Grand Theft Auto Online was the Doomsday Heist, where numerous clues were added to help the hunt. These murals were one of them, but they're talked about to death. What I want to focus on are these few symbols that were found scattered throughout the Doomsday Heist, and later in Arena Wars, with some also appearing in the labs under ZANCUDO. What are they? What do they mean to this mystery? Alien Rune Overlay. Something found long ago in the files, but never in-game, was an overlay of alien runes, which would, in my opinion, most likely be used while piloting a UFO. Red Dead Redemption 2 connections. As stated earlier, Red Dead Redemption is another series created by Rockstar, along with other games like Manhunt. These games are all considered part of the same universe, with Red Dead taking place over 100 years ago, around the turn of the 19th century. Basically, cowboys. Anyways, I bring this up because, like I stated, these games exist in the same overall universe. In Grand Theft Auto, completing a certain mystery grants the player a revolver that can, in turn, be carried over to Red Dead Redemption. Red Dead has a fortune teller named Madame Nazar that appears as a fortune-telling machine in GTA Online. It's also possible to call Madame Nazar in GTA using a phone number you get from Red Dead Redemption 2. Not just lore is what connects these games though. Methodology to solving the game's mysteries is also shared. Both games contain UFOs that can only be seen from a mountain at a specific time, one with weather, one with a specific moon phase. They also contain murals and hidden images that can be overlaid onto their respective maps. Many connections between these games make it obvious these mysteries are, in the long run, connected. And that's it. This is everything I've gathered together during my research for this particular mystery. From here, it's essentially speculation. Where to go, what to do, when to do it. The current working theory is one day will reveal all, is one day of the lunar cycle. This day starts the mystery, where we must visit specific areas in a specific order at a specific time. Quite possibly the 5 mystery locations of the mural. Again, if you know anything that contradicts my findings here, please let me know. Same with new information. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I greatly do appreciate it. And until next time, peace out, Girl Scouts!